Hey, 2015 is just around the corner. How did you live your 2014? Do you have any regrets? Have you missed out on opportunities because of maybe what other people would think? Do you think it's time to change that? Do you think it's time to rock 2015 the way you want it? Well, I think so. So you know what? Let's do this together. Let's make 2015 our best year yet. I'm so happy you're here. This is the Hangout with Penny show. So for the next, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes, depends how much talking I get to. But I suspect it's going to be a shorter show than usual. So yes, it's the Hangout with Penny show every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. And I see many of you are making this a weekly habit, hanging out with me. And it was my intention when I began these shows to inspire you, uplift you, empower you, much through my own experiences, much through my own life, and what I had to do to live my best life. And it's a daily practice, and I've done that following the principles of the law of attraction. So I teach the law of attraction. I coach people on how to become more abundant and happier and more joyful in their life. And when you follow the principles of the law of attraction, it is a daily practice. It's a consciousness that we have to be aware of. When we can be aware, we're halfway there. So that was my intention when I started these shows, is to help you live your best life. So for those of you that have been watching me over the past 20 episodes, this is now episode 21. One of my favorite things to do is introduce you to the wine of the week. I do enjoy a glass of wine, and so for this special night, before we get to our topic, I have this for you. It's called TikTok Pocket Watch, and it's 5-star. So why I got this is because on tonight's show we're going to talk about the top 5 regrets of the dying, and I'll get to that in a little bit. And so that's where we get the 5 from. But TikTok, it's just that every time that clock ticks another, we don't get that time back. We don't get it back. So we only have right now. So what you're doing right now will create your next moment. So whatever you're doing right now. So remember that tick-tock. Every time you hear that tick, you can't get that back. You can't get it back. And I experienced something this week that was a tragic loss that none of us will get back. And so we need to go forward and start living our life so we're not living with any kind of regrets at all. So having said that, here we're going to cheers to 2015. We're going to cheers to this very moment, because every time you hear that tick-tock, you know that, oh, is a reminder. What am I thinking right now? So cheers. Yep, that's good. So another thing that I want to do right now is every episode I've been getting comments, and it's meant a lot to me. And so I began to start reading some of them on the air as in appreciation. And I want to thank you. So I just want to thank my friends for your comments. If you can see that, it's glary. So I picked a few from a few previous episodes. Actually, some of you, I've heard some of you say they're having penny marathons. So I think that's kind of cool too. So for you right now, I am going to read the top 3 comments. And one surprised me, but we'll get to that in just a minute. So, okay, episode 20, 8 steps to fulfilling your dreams in 2015 using the law of attraction. Now, this was a comment made by Carolyn Crothers, and she said, Penny, your show is great. Keep up the good work. Every show, I get a piece to the very large puzzle I'm working on. When I read that, I just love that, Caroline, because, you know, I believe that when we're going through life, it is like a puzzle. And when we can get little tidbits of information that can help us put that puzzle together to go forward, hey, that's beautiful. So I love the way you said that. So perfect. So thanks for that, Caroline. And now we have, this was going to episode 16. And it is reinventing your life your way using the law of attraction. And this was from Michelle Ponsart. You may recognize that name from some prior episodes because she was on my panel a couple of times, and she's a lovely, lovely lady. And so her comment for that episode 16 was, awesome show, best ever. Had to write that down. You can read 100 books about knitting, but you won't get a sweater out of it. Thank you, ladies. So, so for those of you that don't really know what that comment means, you might want to go to episode 16. And we were talking about enough of the reading and the learning you got to start doing. And I just happened to mention reading 100 knitting books will never get the sweater. You got to put the book down, pick up the needles, and start to knit. So that's just a metaphor for life. It's like you got to start living it, right? You can't read the book. You got to start going out there and living it. So... So this one here, I really did find this humorous. And so this goes back to episode 17, Law of Attraction, how to cope with those crazy relatives during the holidays using Law of Attraction. Now, my co-host on that episode was my dear friend, mentor, coach, trainer. He taught me all about the law of attraction. I'm certified by him, was Michael Auger. And for those of you that may know our connection, I'm on his Hangout with Michael show. We have a very good energy between us. We do have we do mesh well together, and so we get along. We have a lot of fun. And so this comment I got from Anna Camps. If you watch that episode 17, you'll see that I'm having a lot of fun. So she says, wow, she's totally drunk while speaking. So uncool. And I read that and I'm like, oh my goodness. So I did respond back and I just said, thanks for the comment, Anna. But I just want to assure you that I'm totally sober during my show and every show that I host. I have great respect for my viewers. So for all of you, I have total respect for you. But more importantly, I have respect for myself. And so when I speak from the heart, and that's totally cool. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk about this one, I want to make a teaching point out of it. And it's about judgment. We're human. And many times without even really thinking what we're doing, we can judge. We may see somebody doing something that looks a little bit inappropriate, and we begin to judge. But many times, we judge ourselves. We'll accept things from other people, but then we judge ourselves all the time. So I'm asking that this was I'm not really asking, this comment here was a great reminder for me moving forward into 2015. And I wanted to share this with all of you that, you know, if we can become aware of, am I judging right now? Am I judging somebody when I really don't know anything about them? Or even if I do, we don't know their story completely. We don't know what's going on inside. So if we can turn that judgment into compassion, so every time that we just start switching that into compassion. So let's turn 2015 into compassion. And so every time you start to look at yourself and judge yourself on whatever, for whatever reason, if you do something that you think was, oh, that was so dumb, and you start judging yourself, wait a minute, have compassion for yourself. Because once we can have compassion for us, it makes it far easier to have compassion for others as well. So Thank you, Anna, for that comment, because it just brought the awareness to me about how I can judge myself. And so I'm going to go into 2015 with having a little more compassion for myself and for others. So I just wanted to share that with you. And now, before we start, I'm just going to go out into the chat room here. And we have some people that are commenting. And so V. Peter says, glad to spend time with you tonight. Happy holidays, Penny. Happy holidays to you too. And Romy Carlin, she says, yay, another evening. Let's see what we have to, well, let me see. Let me start that again. Hey, another evening. Let's see what you have on the surprise plate tonight. I love that. Elaine Webb, she says, hi, Penny. Looking forward to tonight's show. And DP, she says, here from North Bay, Ontario. Hi, Penny. Looking forward to watching the replay. Yes, so, you know, all the shows are recorded. So if you want to just go to my website right here at the bottom, Penny Peddie, or Hangout with Penny.com. You can sign up there, and I can send you the link for the live show as well as the recording, because they're all recorded. So that's good. So tonight's show, I just found this was a very important topic to talk about, especially going forward into 2015, that we can start turning, stop the regrets and start living. Now, I read about this nurse, several years ago. Actually, I did a program on my Blog Talk Radio show on this, and I felt it was really important. So mostly I'm going to be reading, because this is from her. But I felt that when we can become aware of the regrets that people never got a second chance to live out, to get it right, the sooner we can become aware of that, the better off we can be. And we can start living a better life for us. So this nurse, her name is Bronnie Ware, and Bronnie, pardon me. And she's an Australian nurse, and she spent many years working in the palliative care unit. And her patients were those who had gone home to die. And some incredibly special times were shared. And so she was with them for the last 3 to 12 weeks of their life. Now, she says that people grow a lot when they are faced with their own mortality. I learned never to underestimate someone's capacity for growth. Some changes were phenomenal. Each experienced a variety of emotions, as expected: denial, fear, anger, remorse, more denial, and eventually acceptance. Every single patient found their peace before they departed. Every one of them. So that's nice. But now, so she went on to say, when they were questioned about the regrets they had or anything they would do differently, there was a common theme that came up right across the board. And that's what I find is important that I want to share with you during this episode of the Hangout with Penny show. So if you're just joining me, this is episode 21 of the episode 21 of the Hangout with Penny show. All right, so let's get on to the top regret. Oh, this Bronnie Ware, she actually, with the knowledge that she learned doing this, she actually wrote a book. And I believe it's called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying, A Life Transformed by the Dearly Departed. So the number one, I wish I had the courage to live life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. She said this one was the most common regret of everybody, of all of them. Now she says, when people realize that their life is almost over and look clearly on it, it is easy to see how many dreams have gone unfulfilled. Most people had not honored even half of their dreams and had to die knowing that it was due to their choices that they had made or not made. Health brings a freedom very few realize until they no longer have it. Wow. There's so many of us that don't muster up that courage to start being true to ourselves. And what is it that we want to live with? What do we want to do with our life? So many of us go through life trying to other people. I remember when I was going through I remember when I was married. It was an unhappy marriage, but yet it was I had to stay in the marriage, so I was doing everything that other people were telling me to do. And then when that was done, then even where I was working, I knew I wanted to have a change. I knew I wasn't being fulfilled in what I wanted to do with my life. I knew there was something in me that I wasn't getting, the need wasn't getting met where I was. And I had to make that decision. And I left and I branched out, and I had lots of resistance from a lot of people about the choices I've made in my new career. But you know what? This is me. And I'm making a difference in my own life. But I also believe that from my experiences, I'm helping someone else see something in a different light as well. So in that sense, I'm glad that I've started to be true to myself. And you can do that at any age, So maybe ask yourself the question, am I being true to myself? And then you can ask me, was it easy? Not always. But was I happier? Am I happier? Absolutely. Okay, so let's get on to number 2. So this one was mostly men, and they said, she said this came from every patient, male patient that she nursed, and they missed their children's youth and their partner's companionship. Women also spoke of this regret, but most of these women were from the older generation, and many of the female patients had not been the breadwinners. So this mostly was from the male population that were the breadwinners. And so all the men that she nursed deeply regretted spending so much of their life on the treadmill of a work existence. You know, I find that sad, because these men, primarily we're talking about men, when they're doing this, they're doing it for the right reasons. They're doing it because they love their family. They're doing it because they want to support their family. They're doing it because they want to send their kids to college. They're doing it for all the right reasons. But in that process, many of them do miss out on their children growing up, or their spouses being alone and not having that companionship with their spouses. Gosh, I just lost what I was going to say there. But yeah, so that's really important. I believe that they really, truly in their heart thought they were doing the right thing. But you never know, because they're like doing it for later. We can go on that trip later. We can do this later. The sad thing is, later doesn't always come, because we only have right now. We only have right now. So if you're one of these people, and more women, more of us are out there in the workforce now, more of us are striving to get that career going. And but we need to think, am I, do I have it in all my relationships? Am I spending enough time with my children? Am I spending enough time with my spouse? Just kind of think about that a little bit, because it's really important. So you don't want to get on, your last minutes and think, I shouldn't have worked so hard. I should have spent more time with my kids. So think about this going into 2015. And, maybe it's not you, but someone that's experiencing this right now. Yeah. Okay, number 3. I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. So she says, many people suppress their feelings in order to keep the peace with others. As a result, they settle for a mediocre existence and never become who they are truly capable of becoming. Many developed illnesses related to the bitterness and resentment they carried as a result. They never had the courage to express their true feelings. I was one of those. Kind of still am, in a sense. It takes a lot for me to really open up and say my true feelings. Rejection plays a big part in us not saying exactly what we want. The fear of not having anything reciprocated, and say that you don't have the courage to tell someone you love them because of the fear of it's not being reciprocated, or the rejection. But if you truly have that desire, then say it. Say it. Because you don't know if tomorrow will come. And then you don't want to be sitting there with the regret saying, I never got the chance to tell them. Well, the chance is now. So that's why I'm doing this show as a reminder that we can start right now and we can express whatever it is we need to with courage. Because the law of attraction, once we can start stepping into that, even though maybe we're not going to get the answer that we are hoping for, or, you know, we want to keep the peace, so we're afraid to speak up. Once we are able to step into our truth, then the law of attraction will start matching us up with that higher vibration, because that's absolutely a higher vibration when we can stand in our truth about what it is that we truly want to express. So that's number 3. Oh boy. Maybe it will go 30 minutes. Okay, so number 4. I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. Whoa. This is a real good one. Often they would not truly realize the full benefits of old friends until their dying weeks, and it was not always possible for them to track them down. Many had become so caught up in their own lives that they had lost or let their golden friendships slip away through the years. There were many deep regrets about not giving friendship the time and effort that they deserved. Everyone misses their friends when they are dying. Or how about when your friend is already gone? You can't go back. So when I read this, I didn't really think at the time to do anything about it. Like, really? Because it's like, oh yeah, because we think we have time. Oh yeah, I'll get in touch with them. But I'm making a commitment myself. And so I'm kind of, all you that are listening, for lack of a better word, I would like to challenge you that I'd like you to right now get a pen and paper and write a name down. And I'm going to do that right now. Write a name down of somebody that you would really like to rekindle your friendship with, or someone that you haven't spoke to in a while. And within the next 3 months of 2015, so the first quarter, contact that person. Because many times we think that their lives, they're so busy, I don't want to bother them, or haven't talked to them in such a long time that we won't have nothing to say. Oh yes, you will. Oh yes, you will. So I wrote a name down. So I invite all of you to write a name down. I'm sure every one of us has somebody in our life that we would really like to talk to. An old friendship, and see where that goes. And you know what? Once you do it once, then the next, so maybe in 2015, there's 4 quarters to 2015. Pick 4 names. Pick 4 names. Let's start with 1. Once you get the 1, the rest will be easy. So I wrote my name down, and I promise you, I will contact this person. Okay. Let's go on to number 5. The last of the top 5 regrets of the dying. And this one said, I wish that I had let myself be happier. I wish I'd let myself be happier. Now she goes on to say that this is a surprisingly common one. Many did not realize until the end that happiness is a choice. Happiness is a choice. They had stayed stuck in old patterns and habits. The so-called comfort of familiarity overflowed into their emotions as well as into their physical lives. Fear of change had them pretending to others and to themselves that they were content, when deep within they longed to laugh and have silliness in their life again. Oh. I am so grateful that I have friends in my life that we laugh all the time with. We laugh and we have so much fun. So that longing to laugh, it's so, so important. So, but it is a choice. It is a choice. And if we can become aware of that, it's like, yeah, what am I choosing right now? Am I choosing to be holding resentment, or can I just let that go and just be happy? Because you can, because happiness is a choice. So we're getting ready to wrap up here. So life is a choice. It is your life. Choose consciously, choose wisely, choose honestly, and choose happiness. So that concludes the top five regrets. So how are you going to spend your 2015? If this helped in any way, I'm happy. I'm glad I did this, because awareness, like I said in the beginning of the show, awareness is, you're halfway there. If you can become aware, anything can change. Anything can happen. So let's stop regretting and start living, because we can make 2015 our best year yet. And if there's someone in your life that you want to tell you love them, then you do it today. Let them know. Let them know. We lost a dear friend this week. And this man, oh, he was loved. And during his service, I just want to share this before we close. During his service, the priest said, doesn't matter what you have in this lifetime, the only thing you leave with is love. When you depart, you leave with love. And your family gets to keep that. So just remember, love and compassion, and start living your life the way you want to. So, wow, episode 21. Episode 22 will be in the new year. I'm taking a little vacation, little holiday. So I just want to go check out here and see if there's anybody watching. Words. Oh, Linda Gagno, I'll be watching, wishing everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you, Linda. Same to you. Same to you. So, yes, the holiday season's coming up. For those of you that celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. For those of you that celebrate the holidays as a holiday, Happy Holidays. And my wish for you is peace in your heart, and joy and laughter, because those things are important. Love, and that's all it really is. It's not about the stuff. It's about what's in here. It's about what's in our hearts. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for your support. If you've been finding value in these Hangout shows that I've been giving you, then share them with your friends. Go sign up on my YouTube page or on my website so you can get the links, and share them, because I just appreciate you all so much. And that concludes this episode of the Hangout with Penny show. And bye, everybody. Take care.